what are the changes that have happened? In the last 2-3 months, how many of you have noticed a lot of changes with your positions? A few of you. I don't believe that. How many of you have checked? Okay. So, penguins and pandas and bears, oh my, aren't really any bears, but there's a lot of nicknames and codes for all these algorithmic and even manual updates. So it's not all algorithm based. There's actually even manual updates where there is a team of folks at Google that will actually check your Google Places and things like that once in a while to see if it's spammy. If some of you have also noticed your reviews have disappeared. Okay? So let's start back in January. In summary, there have been more updates in the last 2-3 months than there have been in the last 4 years combined. How many of you guys knew that? Okay? And what's really interesting is for the first time ever, Google has actually published a lot of this info. Because a lot of folks were complaining in the past year or so, why don't you tell us what it is? It's pretty obvious to us because we have a lot of data to go off of, and it's pretty obvious when there is a significant change and the weight of something changes. So now, though, Google is actually giving out some of that information. So starting in January, they call it the 30-pack. There was a 30-pack of micro updates that came out, which influences the weight of different factors for your site. How many of you have heard that? No one. Really? Okay, cool. So they called it the 30-pack. What that was is it placed more emphasis towards localization. So in other words, again, it wants to serve better results and more local results. More local results benefits you, the business, the small businesses, and that is great. Plus one, you guys see that annoying plus one? Well, what's really funny is when it came out, the day it came out, the team and I knew this is a signal. Because everything that Google comes out with, you better pay attention. Every single one of those is a factor, it's a signal. So even if you don't have a whole lot of plus ones, and it does look goofy and silly if you have it at the top of your site, and you have no followers, you have no, on your Twitter account and your Facebook account, you have no likes on your plus one, it's only showing one. Well, put it at the bottom of your site on the footer, because that's a signal. It's one of 200 factors, but it still is. So you really have to play the game. Faster mobile browsing. A lot of things have improved with mobile browsing, and it is going to look for certain things on your website as well to see if it's mobile optimized. Next in February, this one shook things up quite a bit. I think it actually affected around 13% of all search queries out there. That's pretty huge. Image and video improvement. What that means is you can also link videos to your site. And if you have none, compared to some, it is a very important factor because it's also continuing to increase the authority to your site. So there's all these factors that just add up that says, I'm a real person, or I'm a team. Not so much I'm an individual, but I'm more than one person. So you need to look for all these signals. You need to have, upload videos and so forth. Images. How many of you, when you're putting together a presentation or something, you're Google searching out everything, or just for fun, looking at all the images? What's funny is that factor has really increased. It used to be a non-factor, but now, the more pictures you have out there, they're hyperlinked. And when I say hyperlinked, it means that physically, you add a link back to the URL of your website. And I'll get more into that, because that's called a backlink. Venice Local. Venice was a code name for more local updates. So again, localization. Every single one of these updates, are you beginning to notice the trend? On every single one of these, it's nothing that significantly new. What it is that the weight placed towards all these factors, such as localization, and freshness of content and things like that, is only continuing to improve, is only continuing to increase. So you've got to play the game. Link evaluations. How many of you know what a backlink is? Okay, I'm just going to explain it now. How many of you for SEO think that backlinks are the most important factor? None of you. Okay. So I like asking this question a lot too. Why did Google take over? Shout it out. PageRank? Okay, PageRank. Any more? Any more? Shout outs?
Backlinks.
Backlinks, okay. Well, a lot of it revolved around user experience. So I remember it, it's funny, I remember it like it was yesterday. That's back in the days when I built up IT departments and worked in corporate. And somebody, I had it shown to me, hey, check out this plain white screen. It's called Google, and if you click on Get Lucky, you might get lucky. And I saw it, and I said, man, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. It looks boring, and I'm not going to use it. But people started gravitating towards it because the results were better. Remember, you were used to going to the second and third page? Suddenly, Google usually served what you're looking for on the first page. The reason it did that is because it came up with a way to evaluate popularity. Popularity is evaluated by how many other sites out there physically link back to you. Because that's something that's really difficult to automate. You can't brute force it. If you use software, you get penalized. So it's quantitative, it's quality, and quantity. So Google looks out there physically for this URL that has to be associated to a keyword. And the more you have out there, the better. So that's why Google was able to knock all these spammy sites off the first page that were repeating the same keyword 100 times. Okay? So even today, a lot of your competitors, they're all using the same keywords you have on your website right now. Okay? So as far as how much influence that has, it's still about 40 to 50% of the game is backlinks. If anybody tells you otherwise, it may not be very familiar with all the factors.